There will be a time. Oh, 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 oh. There will be a time. Oh, 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 oh. There will be a time.
Hey guys, and welcome on in to another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends, free NHL picks. I'm Terry, ready to break down today's slate. I will be right up front and honest. I don't have a lot of plays today. I was even debating doing a show, but I know people want the show, so doing the show, I don't have a whole lot of plays, but we'll discuss the games. Of course, we'll start by looking at yesterday's slate, even though I would rather not. Um, NHL sides and totals have just been rough this year. It's this NHL season has been my worst since I started betting. So it is what it is, transparent and honest. But um, I can take the hottest team and they lose, and I can. Everything points to one side, and I'm on the wrong side. So it's just how it's been this year. I just got to struggle through it, which is what I've been doing. But we'll jump into yesterday's slate and start with the only bright spot in yesterday's slate, and that is Mr. Reinhardt. I literally don't have words to describe Mr. Reinhardt except moneymaker. That's what he continues to do game after game after game. I don't have the exact stats up here, but goals in 10 of his last 11 games now. And he's just been on fire. So continue to cash with him. Thank God. Thank God for Reinhardt. Winnipeg Jets, Toronto Maple Leafs. I really did lean with Toronto in this game. Didn't really love the price and didn't really want to fade this Jets team off their last loss, but the Jets offense has completely disappeared over the last two games. We will see as they are starting to get injuries themselves, and that's starting to hurt them. So we'll see if they can overcome those injuries in their next game. This is the one that hurts. Boston, money line and puck line. Tried to double up on this game. Boston had been smashing opponents by 3 or more. They went down 2 goals here against Carolina, ended up coming back to tie it, only to lose in regulation. So this game was unfortunate, but it is what it is, I guess. Washington Capitals, Colorado Avalanche leaned with the Colorado puck line. Of course, the Avalanche wins 6-2. Didn't end up pulling the trigger because of how Washington's been on the back-to-back. But this game screamed Avalanche by margin, and that's exactly what happened here. Blues and Canucks, I went against past history. The Blues have dominated the Canucks. I thought overall, I thought the Canucks are a much better team this year, and I thought they would play similar to the game, the first meeting of the year when they won 5-0. Blues on the second night of a back-to-back. Everything pointed to the Canucks here. And then I'm not going to blame Casey DeSmith, but the Blues with the 4-3 win here in overtime. And it was just unfortunate for me and for the Canucks. Pettersson did not score. So he is now gone cold officially. Blackhawks and Kraken. The Kraken with a 6-2 win. Dominant win here against the Blackhawks, which is what we've seen for most teams that face the Blackhawks. And this is another game that hurts because all I want to do is fade this LA Kings team. And I didn't trust the Sabres enough to pull the trigger on the Sabres. Kings had a 3-1 lead, but then the Kings do what they've done best recently, and that is find a way to lose the game. Ended up losing by multiple goals here. Drew Doughty is calling out a teammate that or teammates that he says are more focused on their point totals than the team winning. The head coach called out the team. This Kings team is a disaster. They're an absolute disaster. Kevin Fiala with the turnover that led to the Sabres taking the lead. I do not miss Kevin Fiala. I thank God every day that Bill Guerin traded Fiala away for Brock Faber and Liam Ogren, a first round pick. The Wild fleeced the Kings in that trade. And this Kings team continues to struggle. And they're in the top wildcard spot, but a lot of teams are trailing that are not too far behind. And this Kings team that everyone loved in the preseason before the season started could find themselves out of a playoff spot when all is said and done. So we'll see what happens there. But I'm upset that I didn't face the King, or I did not fade the Kings, which is what I should have done yesterday and all days. At Owen, the Canes. Yes, the Canes. The Canes. I wish they would have had Ranta in net. And of course, Ranta will be in net today. So there we go. The Canucks should have won yesterday. That was BS. Yes, I heard about the, of course, referees. And people think, yeah, I'm not going to get into it, but soccer that the referees gave the game to the Blues. Shocking. Terry, hello, Tim. Tim must be happy with his Sabres getting the win over the Kings, but beating the Kings shouldn't be anything to jump up and down about because everyone and their mother is doing that right now. Terrence, hello, Tim. Hello, chat. How is everyone's Kings -1.5 doing? Go Sabres. I don't think a lot of people in the chat played Kings on the puck line. I don't think so, but we'll see. We can skip yesterday for sure. Too late. Already went through it. Disaster that it was. If the Sabres played like that, they would be good, actually. If they could play like that consistently, for sure. Only thing we can count on is Reinhart goal. Yeah. He plays tomorrow, and guess what? I'm going to be on him to score, as everyone that watches this show should be on. Because he just continues to do it over and over and over again. Avs -2, Florida -2, Seattle -2, all held up. There we go. There we go. And I wasn't on any of them. Iceman is on Dallas over 6.5. Interesting. All right, we'll get to that game in a bit. The number said Toronto, sweaty. Yeah, talk about a sweaty win. 1-0 in overtime. So, yeah, definitely sweaty. And someone in the chat mentioned the draw yesterday in that game. And it was a new viewer who I don't see in the chat right now. But if you're watching, comment because someone in the chat yesterday mentioned the draw and what a good cash that was. Same thing today, Owen. What a win. What a win, Robert. And then same thing today. Ranta's going to be in net today, so we'll see. IceX, his Bruins lost. Screw the Canes. I know. No better feeling than a Bruins loss. Oh, there you go. There you go. Are the Bruins a big rival for the Canes? I guess so, beating guys in the playoffs. But IceX agreed. Fuck the Canes. So we have some Canes people in the chat, and we have some people that are not so happy with the Canes right now. Give us Morgan Geeky back. There you go. Canucks are a better team. No team will win every single game every. Yes, exactly. Bruins were at home. We had a 4-string goalie, no Svetch, and we still took care of business. There you go. Might look during the All-Star break for Kings over point total after the swoon. Good buy low opportunity. I could not disagree with this statement more. The Kings, teams have little losing streaks, but this isn't a little losing streak. This is going on almost 15 games now where they have not been able we're getting close to a quarter of the season with how bad of a losing streak they've had. And if they do not change anything, how are they going to get out of this? Because it's past the point of a little losing streak. for the Kings. And to be clear, I don't hate the Kings. I'm rough on them right now because they are a dumpster fire, but I don't have anything against the Kings. So sorry to any Kings fans that do watch the chat or do watch the show. Winnipeg wins the trade by dumping Pierre-Luc Dubois locker room problem. And yes, the Kings messed up in the Fiala trade, and they definitely messed up in the Pierre-Luc Dubois trade as well. I think that's pretty clear. Um, maybe the Kings shouldn't make any deals because they're likely to make their team worse the way things have been going. Here he is, Juan. Leafs draw. Yes, great call on that yesterday, Juan. Very nice winner in that one. 0-0 the entire game. So very nice. Kings need the All-Star break more than anyone else in the NHL. Is a break when they're going to probably go off to Cancun or wherever they're going. A lot of NHL players go on vacations on this break. Is that really what the Kings need? Is a vacation right now? I don't think so. I think that could actually make things worse. So again, I disagree with you completely, Nick, on that. But we'll start with today's slate. We'll start in the first game, which obviously Nick will be interested in. We've got the New York Islanders minus 130 to minus 150 heading to Montreal, plus 124 to plus 128. Sixes at a few spots here, 6.5s at other spots, depending on if you are looking at the total. Goalies for this game, it looks like Semyon Varlamov will make his first start since returning from injury. And Samuel Montembeault confirmed for Montreal. No big surprise. Varlamov has the better numbers. 2.78 goals against average, 918 save percentage. Montembeault, 311 goals against average, 903 save percentage. And it's common knowledge that Varlamov was extremely excited. He said he had goosebumps when he found out that Patrick Waugh was going to be coaching the Islanders. So I do expect him and the entire Islanders team to come to play in this one. This is facing obviously a team that Waugh played for and a team that there's history with him, obviously, and the Montreal Canadiens, good and bad. So I really feel like if the Islanders are going to win a game, this has to be it. You're facing this Montreal team, which has been giving up goals in bunches lately. And this is the spot, if there's ever been one for the Islanders. The issue is the price and the fact that we don't really know what we're going to get from Varlamov. With how the comments he's made to the media, this is a game that you obviously should come to play in. But I don't know. This is an Islander spot, maybe a good parlay piece. Could look at Islanders in regulation, but for me, no single plays here in this game. Islanders have lost 4 of their last 6 games, going under 6 in 4 of their last 6. Montreal 2-4-2 in their last 8. They've gone over in 3 of their last 5 games, over 6.5. And Islanders have had success going 4-1-2 in the last 7 games between the teams, but ultimately nothing here for me. Players that are hot on both teams. Noah Dobson has an assist in 3 straight games. He's the only player really consistent right now for the Islanders. There's questions about Bo Horvat playing in this game, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on with him, but that would be a unfortunate big loss for the Islanders without him. And the hottest player for Montreal right now is Cole Caulfield, a point in 7 straight games, 3 shots on goal in 6 of his last 7, and 4 shots on goal in 5 of his last 7. So Caulfield shooting the puck a lot, getting some points. I look at him for a parlay piece, and I look at Noah Dobson for the Islanders in this one. Canadiens money line. Wow. All right. So Owen's not buying into the Patrick Waugh's return to Montreal. All right. Isles -1. Varley first game back does make me nervous, but your projected line was Islanders -175. Oof. Oof. I don't I don't think the Islanders should be -175. Maybe if they're playing Chicago and the Islanders are at home or San Jose, but other than that, I would say no. Montalban save total over 27.5 -118. I could see that. The Islanders play the way they did versus Vegas, they win 5-1. Yeah. See, it's interesting. The Islanders were scoring and scoring and scoring, but couldn't stop the puck. Now Patrick Waugh is coach, and they can stop the puck pretty well, but they can't score to save their life. So this Isles team, I really don't know what to say about them. Isles money line. There we go. Out of my price range, but there you go. This goalie led in 9 goals against the Bruins last time. Montembeault. All right. Well, it should. He obviously should have a much better performance than that. So, but that's not saying too much. We'll see what happens in this game. Heading on along to our next one, we've got the Boston Bruins, -130 to -135, heading to Ottawa, +114 to +122. 6.5s right across the board in this game. Do we have confirmed goaltenders for this one? Let me refresh. Jeremy Swayman likely. Jonas Corposalo likely. No big shocker. That's obviously Swayman has the much better numbers than Corposalo. Swayman has been awesome. 3-0-0 in his last 3 starts, allowing 3 goals with a 964 save percentage. He's been fantastic lately. Corposalo has been better recently. 2 or fewer goals in each of his last 3 games, 935 save percentage. This Senators team has been winning a little bit recently. But we do have to take a look at who they faced. Obviously, beating Montreal in their last game, beating Philly the game before that, 5-3. We'll talk about Philly in a second, but they're giving up a lot of goals right now. Lost in overtime to Winnipeg, beat Montreal before that, lost to Colorado the game before that. And then I believe their previous win before that was against San Jose. So it's not like Ottawa's going out and beating any good teams right now. But then again, you can't control who you face. I posted on Twitter earlier. I was looking at player props in this game and was really surprised to see that every single forward except the top line center has a goal in the last 5 games. The bottom line has 4 goals in the last 5 games, and the third line has goals in the last game, and every single defenseman has a point. So Ottawa is stretching their offense right through the lineup, and actually that makes it difficult to take players. The only player I have here is Jake Sanderson, who has at least 4 shots on goal in 5 straight games. He's shooting the puck a lot. Charlie Coyle for Boston, point in 6 straight games, 13 of his last 15, and Brad Marchand has a point in 5 of his last 6. But I'm not taking a single plays in this one. This should be a great spot for Boston. It really should, especially after the loss last night. This should be a Boston beatdown spot, but I'm staying off. Boston 15-3-1 in the last 19 meetings between the teams. The last 7 of the last 8 have gone under 5.5. Both teams trending towards the over right now. Boston 5-1 in their last 6. Ottawa 4-1-1 in their last 6. Boston's probably going to win because I'm not taking them. But haven't been able to get this Boston team right lately, so I'm just going to stay off and probably do some parlay pieces with Coyle, Marchand, and Sanderson. 1-4 Boston. Oh, Boston's 1-4 in back-to-backs. Interesting. Okay. Bruins -1, +117. Good bounce back spot for the Bruins. Line should have been -180 range. I can see that. Sens money line. I could possibly see that as well. As shocking as it says. So tempted to take the Sens. Yeah, I'll pass. I'll pass. I don't trust Ottawa, and nobody really should. Um, this is a game that Ottawa can prove. Are they having a little bump playing some bad opponents, or are they turning their season around? This is a game they can beat Boston here in regulation, maybe by 2 goals. Then they can make a statement in this one. Bruins -1.5. You trust Pasternak to get the job done. All right. All right. Game over and first period over. All right. So Juan likes goals. And it scares me with how Swayman's played, but I don't expect Korpisalo to continue his recent play. So I could see goals. 73% penalty kill for the Sens. Come on, Bruins. Yeah, they should be able to attack that. If Boston money line price falls, then yes. Otherwise, no. Boston plays defensively, disciplined, and structured. There you go. Pass to shots. I stayed off that. I don't know exactly why. I think he's been a little bit inconsistent lately. Sources say Korpisalo regress and Boston team total over. Yeah, I could see that. That's how it should be. But the NHL, how things should be, is not the way how things go this year. A lot of the time, I've noticed. So I will stay off here. I do have some plays though. I do. I promise. Arizona Coyotes +180 to +185. Tampa Bay -205 to -225. 6.5s right across the board in this game. How these teams been doing recently? Arizona 3-2-1 in their last 6. 5-3-1 to a total of 6. 5 overs, 3 unders, 1 push. Tampa Bay 6-1 in their last 7 games. 3 overs, 2 unders. 1 game finished with 6 goals. Tampa Bay has won the last 4 games between the teams in Tampa Bay, with 4 of the last 5 going under 5.5. So we've seen lower scoring games when these two teams have faced each other recently. Both teams kind of trending towards the over right now. And this game is another game where I don't have any plays in this one. Looking at player props, Clayton Keller has a point in 8 of his last 9 games. Nikita Kucherov has a point in 11 of his last 13. Braden Point has a point in 5 of his last 6. And Victor Hedman has a point in 4 of his last 5 games. But ultimately, I don't want to take Tampa on the puck line. I don't trust Arizona in this game. So ultimately staying off when it comes to a side or total perspective in this game. Looking at goaltenders, if we have any, Andrei Vasilevsky confirmed for Tampa Bay. Connor Ingram confirmed for Arizona. Makes me lean towards the under, but I don't want to pull the trigger there. So this game is a pass for me, except for maybe some player props. Ice X passes. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Lean Goats after ass whooping last night, but you passed. Nothing wrong with that. Bolts money line, Cooch. Well, Bolts money line is like -210, so I hope you've got that in a parlay, because I wouldn't single bet that. If Tampa price goes up in 4 to 5 hours and Tampa Bay -1 all in. Uh-oh. Kucherov for Hart, runner up, sorry Oats on the road. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. But we'll go on along to the next game, which has my first play of the day. Philadelphia Flyers and the Detroit Red Wings. Philadelphia +105 to +110. Detroit -120 to -130. 6.5s right across the board in this game. Confirmed goaltenders for this one: Samuel Ersson for Philadelphia, starting his 3rd game in a row. Obviously, we'll be seeing him in a lot of games now because Carter Hart will be gone for foreseeable future. Ersson has struggled, giving up 4 goals in back-to-back games. This Flyers team has been giving up a ton of goals. They've lost their last 3, 7-4, 5-3, and 6-3. So they've been scoring some goals, but they've also been giving up goals. Alex Lyon coming off a rough game. 5-4 loss to Dallas in his last game. Played very well against Detroit in his former start. Of course, it's his former team. He stopped 15 of the 16 shots, but then it got injured in the second period against Detroit. So he'll be looking to get the win here in this game. How these teams been playing recently? Well, Philadelphia's lost 3 games in a row, 3 overs, 0 unders, 2 games finished with 6 goals. Detroit 7-2-1 in their last 10, 2-2-2 to a total of 6. So no real edge there. Detroit has won 3 of the last 4 games between the teams in Detroit, with 2 of the last 3 games going over 8.5. So we've seen some very high scoring games between the teams recently. And I'm taking the Red Wings on the money line here. I do lean towards the over as well. I think we get goals, and there are some Philadelphia players that definitely have a lot of value when we come to player props, which I'll get to in a second. Why am I taking Detroit? Because not just because of this, but one of the reasons why I'm taking Detroit is the loss of Carter Hart is going to be huge for this team. And it's not just that he's not playing, it's all of the distractions around why he's not playing. Um, Players are going to be constantly asked about this. They have been on different teams. And I just think this is a huge distraction for the Flyers, who have now lost 3 games in a row. And I think the Flyers season starts to derail. I think that this whole Carter Hart business is going to negatively affect the Flyers. So I'll take Tampa Bay. I'll take Tampa Bay. I'll take Detroit at a good price here. Looking at player props, Joel Farabee has a point in 7 straight games for the Flyers, now on the top line. Cam Atkinson has a point in 6 straight games. He's minus 110 to get a point. Great value on that. Morgan Frost has an assist in 5 of his last 6 games. I believe he's around plus 100 to get a point. There's also a ton of value there. Larkin, a point in 9 straight games for Detroit. And Daniel Sprong, what a great addition he was. Point in 5 of his last 6 games and at least 3 shots on goal in 4 of his last 5. He's shooting the puck a lot for the Detroit Red Wings. We'll jump into the chat. Wings minus 1.5. All right. Big plus money there. I like it. Detroit money line. All right. All right. Right now, it looks like Yotes minus 142 and over is 6.5. All right. Best of luck. Lean Wings. All right. Red Wings have the best goal song. Interesting. Okay. Larkin over 1.5 points and Raymond to get a point. All right. Philadelphia, Detroit over 106. Lean Detroit money line with no tippet for Philadelphia. Detroit jockeying for wildcard position. Need Confer in the lineup. Puck line says the draw is in play here at plus 350. I want to go near the draw. For me, it's Red Wings and maybe a lean. I do lean with the over. Might end up getting to the over eventually as well, but Philadelphia has been giving up goals in bunches, especially over their last 3 games, and I don't see this game being close. I think we see like a 6-3 final, something like that, for Detroit. Who the F said draw? Somebody. Oh, hi, Tommy. No, yeah, no, Tommy didn't say the draw. He said that puck line says the draw is in play here. But that is this game. We'll move on along to our next one, which is between the New Jersey Devils and the Carolina Hurricanes. New Jersey plus 135 to plus 140. Carolina minus 155 to minus 162. 6.5s right across the board in this game. Looking at goaltenders here, Nico Doss likely for New Jersey. Antti Ranta likely for Carolina. neither goaltender has very good numbers this year. 3.18 goals against average for Nico Doss, 903 save percentage. Antti Ranta, 3.2 goals against average, 866 save percentage. How these teams been playing recently? Well, the Devils 2-3 in their last 5 games, back-to-back games going over 6.5. Carolina 4-2-1 in their last 7, 3 overs, 2 unders, 1 game finished with 6 goals. Carolina 9-3 in the last 12 games between the teams, 5 over, 1 under, 1 game finished with 6 goals. So we've seen higher scoring games between these teams, with the Hurricanes finishing on top. For me, no single plays here. I don't want to have to take the Canes in regulation if I was going to back them. I don't want to back the Devils. The Canes off a big win against Boston. This could be a letdown spot. I don't want to lay a price with Antti Ranta in net. And I don't trust this Devils offense enough for the over. So this game's tough. And I'm not going to force out plays just to give out plays. So this game is ultimately another pass on today's slate. Looking at player props, Nico Hischier has a point in 4 straight games. And for Carolina, Sebastian Aho, a point in 5 of his last 6, 11 of his last 13. And Seth Jarvis has a point in 5 of his last 6 games. And we'll see what happens in this one. LOL, I was asking. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Canes minus 1.5, despite your better judgment. All right, all right. New puck lines in the plus 200s for both teams typically indicate a close game. Okay, okay. Plus 130 to fade Ranta. Sign me up. I can see it. I can see it. But Canes money line, Aho over 1.5 points. There you go. Arizona plus 1.5 at minus 144. It means Tampa Bay minus 1.5 at plus 120 is weak. So is the Tampa Bay money line. All right. All right. Over 6.5 in this game. I could see it. I could see it. Datos ESPA. I'm sorry, I am not sure. I'm not sure what you're trying to say there. So I apologize. I have no idea what you're trying to say. So I apologize. But we'll move on along to our next game, which is between the Anaheim Ducks and the Dallas Stars. In this one, see if we have confirmed goaltenders here. Jake Onger confirmed for Dallas. Nobody yet confirmed for Anaheim, but it looks like John Gibson, who has very similar numbers to Ottinger. 3.06 goals against average for Gibson, 3.01 for Ottinger, 900 save percentage for Gibson, 903 save percentage for Ottinger, who is taken a step back overall in his play this year. How these teams have been doing recently? Well, Anaheim has won 2 of their last 5 games, which for them is pretty good. 5 overs, 1 unders, 2 finished with 6 goals. Dallas 6-2-1 in their last 9, 4 overs, 2 unders, 2 games finished with 6 goals. How these teams done against each other in the past? Well, Dallas has won 10 in a row against the Ducks in Dallas. 8 unders, 1 game finished with 6 goals. And as we have a total of 6.5, that means the last 9 meetings all under when these teams have faced each other in Dallas. And how I look at this game, again, it's kind of like other games. I'm not taking the Ducks here. Do I trust Dallas to win on the puck line at around minus 130? That's really pricey. Do I want to take the over? Yes, I would lean with the over, but past history is extreme towards the under. So this game is another game where I have no single plays. It does look like Dallas will be getting Miro Heiskanen back, which is definitely a big addition for their offense. And when we look at player props for Anaheim, 2 players have been playing really well recently, Troy Terry and Adam Henrique. Terry, a point in 7 of his last 9. Adam Henrique has a point in 7 of his last 9. And Henrique also has a goal in 4 of his last 5 games. So the Ducks are starting to get some offense from those guys. Jason Robertson, a point in 9 of his last 10 for Dallas. And Wyatt Johnston has at least 3 shots on goal in 4 of his last 5 games. Johnston and Rope Hintz have been having really good games where they get points, and then the next game they'll get completely shut out where they don't get anything. And that's what they've been doing recently. So no real consistency enough for me to pull the trigger on them, especially with them both getting lots of points in their last game. The way things have been going is they probably don't find the score sheet tonight. So I'll take Johnson to get shots on goal. I'll take Robertson point and the other players points as well. But that's basically it for this game. Mother's trip. Got to take the over here. All right. All right. ESPN data in Spanish. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Tommy. Thanks. Pass. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hard pass. No value on Dallas, but no clock for me. There you go. I don't have to play every game. Over 6.5, the Ducks are going to get destroyed. All right. I could see it. Heiskanen back in the lineup. Auditor and net. Dallas at home. Anaheim team total over 2.5. It's plus 122. There you go. Or plus 112. Okay. Frank the Tank for Toronto. There you go. And Rope Hintz anytime goal and Wyatt Johnston anytime goal. Hey, we'll see. Both of those guys, they've been producing and then nothing. So we'll see if they produce again or if they get nothing in this game. We will see. But moving along, we have 3 more games left, and we have this one here, which is a extremely important game for the Minnesota Wild. We've got Nashville plus 100, or sorry, minus 102 to plus 105. Minnesota minus 112 to minus 120. Sixes right across the board in this game. Philip Gustafsson will start for Minnesota. No big surprise there. Nobody confirmed for Nashville yet. Let me take a little refresh here and see if we have any. Nope. UC Saros is unconfirmed, but not confirmed, obviously. How these teams have been doing recently. Nashville 1-3-0 in their last 4, so they've lost 3 of their last 4 games, going under 5.5 in 5 straight games. This Nashville Predators offense has dried up lately. Minnesota has won 4 of their last 5 games, going over 6.5 in 4 straight games. The complete opposite for the Wild is their offense has gotten going a lot recently. Minnesota 3-1-1 in the last 5 games between the teams, 7 of the last 8 going over 6.5. So we really do see high scoring games when these teams face each other. And if you like the over in this game, then you should like Minnesota with how the Wild's offense has been compared to Nashville's offense lately. And I'm on the Wild money line, minus 112. No big surprise. I'm also on Brock Faber to get a point. Plus 110, which I think is too high. I've been using it as parlay pieces. Faber, I'm just going to pull the trigger here on the single play, as he does have a point in 5 straight games for the Wild. The only player really producing right now for Nashville is Roman Josi. He's got an assist in 6 of his last 7, at least 3 shots on goal in 7 of his last 10 games. Joel Erikssonek, a point in 5 straight games, 7 of his last 8. He's been on fire for the Wild. Kirill Kaprizov, a point in 10 of his last 12 games. This is an extremely important game for the Wild, who are trying to get themselves back into the playoff race. The Wild have scored at least 5 goals in each of their last 4 wins. And we saw what happened in the last meeting. The Wild winning 6-1 in John Hines' second game as head coach. And John Hines knows this Predators team. Obviously, he coached them for quite a few years before this season. So he knows this Predators team, and I think that's advantage for the Wild. I like what I've seen from the Wild offensively recently. So I'd like them to get the job done here in this game that is extremely important. If the Wild win this game, I will be locking in Wild to make the playoffs. At right now, I'm seeing at the best price 470 plus 475. I will be locking it in tomorrow if the Wild win this game because this is an extremely important game. I want to see this one first. If they can win this game, of course, we'll talk about Saturday later, but they face the Anaheim Ducks on Saturday, which is Hockey Day, Minnesota. A lot of people are thinking, what is that? It is a state holiday to celebrate hockey. And the Wild, since joining the league in 2000, have been extremely dominant on Hockey Day, Minnesota. So if they win this game, I expect them to win Saturday and head into the All-Star break on a 5-game win streak. So this game is extremely important for the Wild. Also, looking at Nashville, they've scored 6 goals total their last 4 games. 2 games with 2 goals, 1 game or 2 goals, 2 games with 2 goals, and 2 games with 1 goal. So this Nashville Predators offense has disappeared recently. Pass. All right. 1-800-GAMBLER. Okay. Data on Espinal. I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish, but thank you for the info. National Minnesota draw, plus 350. Robert also likes to draw, plus 325. Okay, so we're just going to give me a bunch of stress. I see how it is. I see how it is. Faber is him and Kaprizov goal. Yes, the LA Kings made a huge mistake. Huge mistake in that trade. Huge. Stop it. Get some help. Just kidding. LOL. There you go. Lock it in now. Do it. No, I want to see. I just want to see this game first. I want to see this game first. Imagine if the Ducks beat the Wild. Normally, I would say, well, obviously, I would always say that I don't see that happening, but especially on Hockey Day, Minnesota, I don't see that happening. And I will get the record for when we talk about Saturday's games. It is extremely dominant year after year after year. Whatever reason, the Wild come to play on Hockey Day, Minnesota. Current puck lines and my lines say draw. Yeah, but please no. I don't I don't want the stress. Draw and sprinkle game to a shootout. Which is even worse. Added stress. I guess everyone wants to see me get a heart attack. No, I'm kidding. But no. Hopefully not. We'll see what happens though in this one. Going along to our next game, which is between the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Calgary Flames. Columbus plus 155 to plus 163. Calgary minus 179 to minus 192. 6.5s right across the board. Spoiler alert, no single plays for me in this game. Reason being, Columbus 1-4-1 in their last 6 games, not playing well right now. 3 of their last 6 over 6.5. The Flames have lost 3 straight games, 3 of their last 5 under 5.5. Flames 7-2 in the last 9 games between the teams. 2 overs, 4 unders, 2 games finished with 6 goals. I do not trust the Flames to win by 2 goals. I'd have to take them either in regulation or on the puck line, which I'm just not interested in doing. I have no interest in Columbus. So I look at the total and no real edge in the total. So I'm sorry, everyone. This slate is just tough. This is a tough slate for me. So it is what it is today. Looking at player props, nobody for Columbus is really consistent right now. The only player consistent for Calgary, Nazem Kadri, he has a point in 9 of his last 10 and at least 3 shots on goal in 4 of his last 5 games. But really, no one is consistent. So this game is ultimately an easy pass for me. Columbus money line, Columbus plus 1.5. All right. We'll see how the lines move 4 to 5 hours from now as the ticket volume increases, more money comes in, and heavier plays hit the books. All right. Columbus plus 1.5 is minus 150 is a great parlay piece. Yeah, if you think this game's going to be close. I just don't know. I don't know. Gaudreau returns to Calgary. That's something too. I don't know. But I'll be passing this game because I don't want to get involved with either of these teams right now. And heading along to our next game, and I know two people that are watching the show right now are on Chicago. At least two people. So there you go. Chicago plus 425 to plus 475. Edmonton Oilers minus 520 to minus 650. 6.5s right across the board in this game. Looking at goaltenders here, I should have mentioned for the last game, Markstrom's confirmed. Nobody yet for Columbus. For this game, Peter Mrazek likely for Chicago, and Calvin Pickard likely for the Oilers. How these teams been doing recently? Well, Chicago's lost 6 of their last 8 games, going under 4.5 in 6 of their last 8. They've been very low scoring games. Edmonton, unless you've been living under a rock, the Oilers have won 14 games in a row, which everyone has been talking about recently. 0 overs, 6 unders, 2 games finished with 6 goals. So both of these teams are trending extreme towards the under right now. Edmonton has won the last 5 games between the teams, 4 of the last 6 going over 6.5. Ultimately, I'm not getting involved in this game. Shocker, I know. But if you think I am betting Chicago, you've lost your mind. If you think I'm betting Edmonton, well, I'd have to take minus 2.5 for minus 110, which I'm also not doing because of how these teams have played recently. I really lean with the under 6.5 here. Uh, I really want to take the under 6.5, but I don't know. I don't know. This Oilers team, they're playing low scoring hockey right now, but this offense could explode at any moment. And this is the team for them to absolutely explode against. So I'll pass, but I do think we get a low scoring game. I do think Edmonton wins. Do I think it's by margin? It could be. It could not be. But I don't. This Oilers team is trying to at least tie the Pittsburgh Penguins for the most wins in a row in the regular season. They're at 14 now. 17 is the mark to tie. Do I think that their 14-game win streak ends against Chicago? Absolutely not. But the way the NHL has been this year, who knows? Who knows? Looking at player props for this game before we get on off the show. For Chicago, no, nobody should be surprised. Nobody's consistent offensively for Chicago right now. Warren Fogle for Edmonton has a point in 4 of his last 5 games. I believe minus 110 to get a point around there. So that's value. If you're looking for something, it would be Warren Fogle to get a point. Draisaitl has a point in 4 of his last 5, at least 3 shots on goal in 5 of his last 6. And Connor McDavid has a point in 13 of his last 14 games. But I'm sure McDavid to get a point is probably minus 1,000 in this game. Actually, before we head on out, I want to see that. What is the odds for Connor McDavid to get a point in this game? Let's see. Let's see. Bear with me. Player milestones. Connor McDavid. Oh, minus 700 to get a point. Okay. So not at minus 1,000, but close enough. Jump into the comments here. People are going lively about this game. Dun, dun. He has gone to Calgary already. He doesn't care. Okay. Okay. So he's already been there. All right. Because most of the time it's the first game back that you really want to look at that. After that, I don't know. Who, me? Yes. Kaka, Blackhawks money line. Yes. You and Nick, shockingly, are both on the Blackhawks. Who could have guessed that? No chance the Bedardless Blackhawks team beats the Oilers on a 14-game winning streak as a 600 favorite, right? Nick just wants to be able to brag that he got a big, nice plus winning price. So that's what Nick wants, is the Blackhawks to somehow win this game so he can brag about it. We'll see if that happens to Nick, but I won't be involved. Also, this game is a revenge game against Corey Perry. I don't believe Corey Perry is in the lineup yet, but okay. Okay. Oilers minus 2.5. All right. Hoy Ghana, New Jersey Devil. Um, don't know if you like the Devils or not, but all right. Corey Perry, anytime goal. Blackhawks money line parlay. As I said, I don't know if Perry's playing in this game, so I don't know. This line is overflated after last night's blowout. This line says Edmonton minus 2.5. Mrazek has had a few blowouts, but wow. Yeah, he's been the better goalie. He has, which is why I want to take the under. I really do. Fun fact: last team to beat the Edmonton Oilers were the New York Islanders. Congratulations, Nick. At least you'll have that. We beat the Edmonton Oilers. That's what the Islanders can be proud about after this season. Oilers will win, but with only 3,000 tickets sold, this line is pumped up by GP and totally inaccurate. Okay, he will. Um, Perry plays Saturday. Okay, okay. Translate says today wins New Jersey Devils. Oh, okay, okay. So they like the Devil. Oh, she likes the Devils. All right. Best of luck, Allison. Um, McDavid under half a point is plus 550. There you go. Ryan Donato continues to shoot the puck. Okay. Oh, yo, WTF. About what? Perry to play on Saturday. Mass still go Hawks. Okay, there you go. Ice X Oilers minus 2.5. And imagine how many parlays will have Oilers money line as the last leg. Not mine. Not my parlays. They won't. So there you go. But that is today's show. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm sorry about the lack of plays, but it is what it is. There are some spots that I didn't pull the trigger that I do lean. So if you want to rewatch and bet those spots, best of luck. That's it for today's show. Smaller slate tomorrow, but I will most likely be covering a couple AHL games. I know there is one commenter that has been commenting on the shows after they're done and has been really wanting to see some AHL picks. So, with tomorrow's slate being small, I'll probably get to some AHL tomorrow. So, there you go. Maybe even some professional women's hockey league as well. Let's go Hawks. Yes. Well, I guess yes. There you go. Because I'd like you guys to win. Thanks. No worries. Best of luck. And that's today's show. We'll see you on the next one. Best of luck, everyone.